Okie dokie. I should be live now. Right. Today I'm just gonna work on some tracks in Ableton and talk out loud. This track that I have open right now, I've been working on for a few weeks, I think, kind of on and off. But it's a remix, so I didn't start from scratch. I actually started with this very gentle, beautiful piano song by an artist named Krisu, Krisu. It's called Your Soul is Beautiful. My friend Marlene sent it to me. It's actually just very calming. But I wanted to do a little more with it, so I have added various layers and effects and stuff like that. I think I'm generally still going for like a calming feel, just trying to add some interesting soundscapes and sound effects, atmosphere, stuff like that. I think one thing that could still improve in this track is just to kind of improve the flow of it. I mean, the arrangement is effectively following what the piano song already had, but I feel like I could maybe do more in terms of dynamics or structure or just sectionizing it a bit more. But I'll go ahead and play it. I'll play what I have, and as I go along, I will talk out loud, think out loud, try to figure out what parts to modify. So I'm not going to play it completely all the way through uninterrupted, but I may point out some stuff I'm doing as I go along. But in general, I'll just be thinking out loud, so feel free to chime in the chat or heckle me or whatever you want. Alright, so the first thing that I'm noticing is that the E button on my keyboard popped out again. No, but the second thing I'm noticing is I'm clipping for some reason. I'm going to go ahead and turn off everything on my mastering chain, figure that out later, keep the bass mono on. I could probably keep this on too. Okay, how's the volume on this? It's going to be a little quieter. Let me crank it up a little bit. Hopefully you can still hear that okay. Okay, so... Alright, that's a little better, a little more headroom. But the other thing I noticed was the kick. I mean, it sounds gentle, which I think works nicely with the track, but I'm wondering if I can just amp it up a little bit. I mean, I could do that thing where I find the fundamental tone and boost it by like 1 dB or whatever. Let's see if that does anything. So first of all, let me check if it's in tune with the track. Right, let's see. I'm gonna pull with like a virtual piano keyboard. If anyone has pretty pitch, maybe it would tell me, but. Okay, it is D. Yeah, I guess I could tune around here too. Yeah, it's a D. So, is my kick? What's that? Right there. Oh, okay. So I already tuned the kick. Or I picked the right one. So it is. And what frequency is that? D. Hold on. 75. 75, okay, so I'm going to take EQ, go to 75, and just to do a 1 dB boost, very narrow one. There's my cue right there. Can I tell a difference? Maybe. But let's see that. Maybe I can just turn up the attack on my kick a little bit. Bass mono. Yeah, so the kick by itself is peaking at -8. And I mean, it's kind of a soft thud. Which again, I like how it's a gentle song, so I don't want it to be too crazy. But let me see how it sounds if I mess with some of these saturation settings. Yeah, see, that's too hard. Nope. I had it on before. Sinoid? How do you pronounce that? Sinoid fold? Okay, medium. Too hard. I think medium is okay. Okay, let's see that. Yeah, so one thing I did here is in addition to the bass piano track, bass, like B-A-S-E bass, which is just this, I took it, I converted it to MIDI using Ableton, and then I put a different synth on that new MIDI track, which is this electric piano sounding kind of thing. And, well, the funny thing is the MIDI conversion didn't happen perfectly. Like, these various notes are not exactly the same notes. I'm assuming Ableton messed it up a little bit because there's a lot of chords and harmony going on in this audio file, and so it didn't detect it perfectly, but I kind of liked the fact that it was like imperfect translation of the chord progression or of the notes, and so when I put this little fuzzy sounding electric piano on it, which I put this saturator, Noveltech, and then this other saturator called Faturator, which makes it sound all fuzzy and stuff. Like without it, it sounds like this. Kind of weak and thin, so I kind of fattened it up, stereo-listed it up. And again, it's not following the piano notes perfectly, but it is following it kind of harmonically, and the rhythm's a little different, but it's still, I aligned it to the grid, I quantized it. So together, you get this kind of interesting fuzzy accompaniment to the piano notes, which I like. Oh, and I panned it to the right. And I probably automated some of the stuff over time. So yeah, if you look at the Faturator, what track am I on? Not that track, this track. Yeah, the Faturator dry wet mix is kind of going up and down throughout the course of the track. So I think I'm pretty happy with how the piano sounds with the piano MIDI. Okay, so one thing I'm noticing is that my track is missing a lot of the 1K and above frequencies. So do I want to try to add more layers to fill that in, make it sound more full, or do I want to take a look at what I have and see if anything can be adjusted to the kick and the bass kick, that 808? That's all low end stuff. So I should double check every track and make sure they're sidechained. I may have forgotten to do all the sidechaining. But this is it's like a very elongated kick, so let me do that now actually before I forget. So let me pick a track first. Like this one here. So I want that to be sidechained to the kick. Right now, it's not. So I'm gonna put this track spacer plugin, put it on the risers track, and down here, and sidechain I'm doing kick. Nice thing about this plugin is I can pick, I can basically pick which frequencies it actually ducks. Oh god, my computer. Alright, I need to turn off some of these plugins to save CPU. Alright, turn up my volume a little bit. Headphones. So I think I want like a very fast, short release sound attack on this. The thing about this riser is it's not even, doesn't exist in lower frequencies anyway, so you're not going to be able to tell too much of a difference when I'm sidechaining to the kick, which has mainly low frequencies in this one. But I'll go ahead and take that sidechain plugin and see what other tracks we get. Noise. Okay. Except of course my CPU is bugging out now. I didn't add that much stuff, but my CPU is kind of dragging. Okay, I will not try to do too much right now. Right, so the other thing I was doing was trying to find some stuff to fill in the 5K and above frequency range. This kick 2 MIDI track I have, it was simply adding a little bit of top to that kick, because if you look at the kick, you can see it's basically not taking up anything beyond 1K. So I had this kick 2 MIDI track here, which is the purple one, and it's simply following the same rhythm as the kick, with this little clicky sample right here, which is drum rack this one. You know what? I can probably actually move this up a little more and only have that much. So together, click the kick. The kick has a little more click. Wait, here. Now you know what? The rhythm of that top isn't even in sync, or it's not even matching the kick exactly. But I kind of like that. It's like filling in some of the gaps. Okay, that's fine. Hats. These hats are very sparse. So even though they do have a lot of highs and even some mids occasionally, it's not really coming through that much. Maybe I'll turn it up a little bit, but okay, it only has that part here. Hopefully, let's boost a little bit here. And the snap is also very light. What's this flutter doing? I'm not sure what that flutter is doing. Sometimes I add stuff and I forget about it. Yeah, I don't think I can tell the difference between those. And if it is, it's very subtle. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep that off. Less plugins, less CPU usage. Imager. So it's pretty stereo. I'll try to make it a little wider. Oop, too loud. Well, it's dropping below 0 on this thing, which is supposedly not good. Not good. So that's the original. Okay, I think that's better. So without the dimension expander, and with it, I do think that sounds better. Still not solving the main problem that I was trying to solve, but that's okay. I mean, what if I put this here, actually? No, I should put it here. I just put the EQ at the beginning of the chamber. Most of the times it should be at the end. What if I... Okay. Sure, let's try that. I think the snaps are low either right here now. Okay, wubs. What is wubs? It's all these weird noises in the low range. Yeah, these noises are strange. They're kind of like animal growls almost, but kind of more, oh yeah, like that right there. I want that to be louder. Sounds like a creature. Is that tuned? I think it is, yeah. I think that's right. Okay, so I don't think the whoops is going to solve my mid to high problem. Like, I just don't have those sounds. Like, it's not. What about the actual piano track? Yeah, I already tried to do some very clumsy EQ here to bring those out, but again, I just think they don't really exist in the original track. Original track is actually pretty thin. Okay, what about this MIDI track with the fuzzy electric piano? Okay, that gives me more to work with. A lot of knobs here. Brightness, synth to piano. Octave. Attack. Vibrato amount. Volume. Okay. fork time color. Oh, interesting. Built into this Ableton synth appears to be a low pass, which may be preventing me from getting the full, okay, let's see, analog, electric, analog, electric. Let me turn this off, turn off this EQ. Yeah, I'm gonna turn that off. I'm just gonna let it come through all the way. Okay, so that's in the built-in Ableton instrument, which is a blend of analog and electric. And it looks like I've got a decent amount of 1 to 5, or 1 to 10K here, but color. Okay. Kind of like the color all the way up here. Let me go to a place where the dry wet mix is actually higher, so I can tell the difference more easily. Let's see. Dry wet mix, automation. Looks like I don't actually go beyond 50% in some of these places. Oh, here we go. Okay. Yeah, I think I like the color more up. And I'm just going to clumsily kind of boost this a bit. Let's okay. I think that's a little better. Where's the image on this track look like? Oh, there we go. Oh man. Might be a little too loud. Let's see. Control. Maybe that's a little better. Computer's at 70% CPU. When I get my brand spanking new MacBook Pro next month, because it takes 6 weeks to arrive, I think I'll be able to stream video and audio and run Ableton more smoothly, but for the time being, I will have to put up with the stuttering. Okay, these vocals. All sorts of weird effects on this one. I kind of went crazy with the chain here, as you can see. Also, where's my EQ? Okay. Yeah, the EQ, I put a distortion pedal, dirty tremolo, compressed it, added a resonator, added some grain delay, and did something or another with the stereo width. Made it really wide, I guess. And then EQ'd it once again. So with everything turned off, it actually sounds like this. Which kind of sounds cool too, but I mean, I took this sample box female home and warped it, stretched it out. I think I stretched it out, warped it on, and played with the grain size. Oh, that's what's making it sound so crazy. I took the grain size in the clip itself, this thing, and moving it up and down over the course of the clip, which gives it that crazy sound. Turn all the effects back on, and then I get what we previously heard. Yeah, much more nasally sounding, which I like, but it's kind of thin by definition. Let's turn it up a little bit. I mean, I feel like I'm often just very hesitant to use the Q8 and just do stuff like that. But, okay, yeah, that might be a little too much. Or not. How does it sound in context? I mean, it's not crazy. So this wub bass pink track here, which I named Fizzles, because I guess I transmogrified it so much that it actually sounds more like Fizzles than wub bass, but I've got a moving resonance peak here in the EQ, auto-penning it in some crazy random pattern here. I did a redux bit reduction, that's what makes it sound so it's crackly. Intensity is a saturator. I clearly have a problem when it comes to tuning plugins. Compressed, at about 5 dB, making it even more fuzzy with this free fuzz. Different settings here. I think I had it on B. Free fuzz, saturator thingy. That's interesting. By the time it comes out over here, the EQ shape looks very different. I don't know why. If I turn off intensity. Nope. Redux. And it looks like I'm automating the downsample amount of the redux over time too, so it's going to sound pretty different in different places. Here versus there versus there versus. That's okay. Lots of good lines. Kind of like the sizzly highs that this has. It's this transient master gain. Okay. Back to got an imager, just to check it. I mean, it's not like static crackling, but that's intentional in context. I mean, I mostly give it like a spice on top with a bunch of high crackling frequencies. So anything I can do to bring it out even more. Already got some reverb on it. Just adding delay with it. I might actually put some of that delay on there. I'm using Replica. It was made by Native Instruments, I think it is. Okay. Yeah, I think the delay is okay because it's not like it's perfectly in time anyway. Okay, that's Fizzles. So what do I have so far? Kick, bass kick, kick 2 MIDI, hats, snap, wubs, piano, piano MIDI, vocals, fizzles. Risers, chimes, noise, strings, bells. Okay, risers. I'm not sure I love the risers layer, but I'm gonna make it work. It's also got kind of that creature animal feel. And it does delineate the sections a little bit. And I tried to make it louder when we have like the chord changes. So here's the first, wait no. Okay. The first big kind of chord change I think is here. Nope, not that one. That one. I mean, the track is interesting because it is a very elongated chord progression, and the piano never really stops. It's kind of, I wouldn't call it monotonous, but it's definitely ongoing. I mean, it's like omnipresent, and so it just keeps going and going and going. And so there aren't that many opportunities where the song seems to shift to a new but right there, that is definitely like a new section. I don't think we put that particular chord until right then. So right there, leading up to it, what do I have? Yeah, I feel like I can do more with this little FX riser. Oops, I was gonna say FX riser wub wub. That's when I bring in this strings layer. The chimes have been doing stuff for a while. I already have this white noise thing here. And so this thing, I can do more with that. Especially since I've got this crazy animal thing going on in the orange layer. So instead of this weak kind of thing, I'm going to move that over here. Take this bigger one, do that here. Stick something quiet. Is there another riser I have somewhere? How do I take that? It's a little higher pitched. It's a little more clearly. Paste it here, reverse it. Wait, no, don't reverse it. I'll get something different. No, just something. Okay, I'm gonna put that right. Let's see, let's put that right here. Let's make this whole track louder. A little quieter. I want to fade it into it. It ends kind of suddenly, so I feel like I want to put that here. Nope, just duplicate it. Fade it out. So the whole thing is together. I mean, all of these things are still pretty gentle sounding because I'm trying to make like a banger that just goes crazy, but it's like an interesting thing going on with the vocals there. I don't think I like the fact that it kind of goes down an octave or something right before that transition. It goes like, aw. I don't think that's necessary. Why is it doing that? Clip, chimes position. That's why. Yeah, I don't like that. Maybe I had to go up an octave instead. Nope. I think I just want to keep it where it is. Or just a little bit of a pitch bend. Okay, so if I could make it like blend into the next one, that'd be nice. Like that. Or down. Oh, up a lot. Too high. Maybe 5. 4. 4 sounds nice. 4 semitones. Feels more natural. Together. I think it's better. So back here. That sounds kind of like too loud or something. I'm just turn it down a little bit. One more time. These chimes are real pretty. I'm auto panning them too, so there's a bunch of left right movement. They're quite wide. How does it sound if I take it an octave up? Too high. An octave down might be interesting. Versus where it was. Nah, I like it where it was. And everything at the highs. Yeah, this part of the track is getting more ghostly. Drivers, chimes. Some white noise. It's like ocean waves, wind chimes. Alright, now these strings are interesting. I like these strings. I didn't bring them in until almost 2 minutes into the track. Definitely a kind of a horror movie kind of eerie feel. I automated some erosion on it, as well as this frequency shifter. Okay, how loud is it in context? I feel like it could be louder. Let's bump it up 4 dB. Okay, and then this sample here, strings C, matte black MSV. I like the sound of that. But again, let me play with the octave here. Nope. How does it sound an octave down? I like it. Okay, yeah, let's just hear the strings by themselves. It does play well with these vocals. Yeah, I'm playing with the warp settings here. So, oh right. Let's remember to have the EQ on the end of the chain. The other stuff. Clean that up a bit. Okay. Make it slightly less annoying sounding, maybe. Oops. Okay, take that like that. Try it again. I was saving, so. Yeah, so this last layer here, Bell's MIDI, very pretty, but I feel like, yeah, it doesn't really come through that much. Okay, so what do I have on this? HS Sparkle from Diva. One of the synths I like. Put some auto pan on it. Give it, oh yeah, look at that. That's pretty. I mean, I just like how it looks. It looks like a harp. So it's plenty wide. There's already tons of reverb built in, so I did not put any reverb on it myself. It's just in the synth. Let's see what it sounds if I turn up the reverb. Yeah, it still sounds pretty good. I put some delay on it. I'm not sure if that's necessary. Delay kind of makes it sound a little sloppy. Maybe just a little bit. Turn it up a little bit. Lots and lots of reverb. Some more of this novel type character. Oh, it looks like I'm automating the EQ for some reason. Yeah, just to give it more variance. Why not? Let's do more of that. Okay, let's listen to it with the EQ pushing up around there. Oh, that might be a little too much. Oops. Show animation. Show animation. Okay, that sounds a little too much. Keep it at 5. Oh yeah, and I think I actually just took the same MIDI notes as the piano MIDI track here. So it's the same notes, different synth. I mean, I feel like I could have even more fun with the EQ automation here. Add one here, and make it move somewhat randomly. But maybe accentuating it when the strings are not playing. So that'd be more like in these sections here. See what that sounds like. Play it with the strings. I like how it looks like it's breathing. Let's do that a little more gradually. And then have it come down. Okay. Let's do one of these curvy things. Okay, from here. Look at these both next to each other. We'll keep clicking the wrong one. This one. Okay. Flip it all next to each other. Okay. Wait, that's the same one. Here we go. Alright, yeah, just making sure none of the EQ is going too crazy or harsh. And yeah, just giving it some more oral dynamics, some more dynamic, some more variation as it goes through this section here. And the streams are coming in and out. Alright, let me see how that whole section sounds with everything together. Yeah, I feel like those bells could still stand out a bit more, so I'm just going to turn it up. I need a little more headroom here, so I'm just going to take every track. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, at this section, the original piano track was actually kind of being outshone by the fuzzy electric piano and reverby bells melody, which I like. Sounds kind of spooky. Definitely more interesting than it just by itself, so that's good. Okay. Not sure if I accomplished my original goal of really having the tracks sound fuller in terms of some of those highs, but I'm going to pause here and I'm going to play the track straight through and just see how it sounds. Oops, I just realized my mic was muted. What I was saying was that earlier I was focusing on that little chord hit as a transition, but it turns out that particular chord kind of shows up right there too, so it's actually at 135 that it happens. Right there, so I think I'm going to add something for that to just make it a little more demarcated or dramatic. Let me just use the same thing. Let's see. I just realized that I've been using the wrong microphone the whole time. 1 second. Okay. All right. There we go. Better microphone. Then you don't have to listen to me like. You can still probably hear me tapping my keys on the keyboard, but yeah, I was using the built-in laptop microphone the whole time. I should have been using my Yeti. Okay. Now I'm using the right microphone. So. I'm just kind of experimenting with this noise. Nah, it's too slow. Maybe it's actually okay to have this one a little less busy, and then when it comes around the second time again, I have this crazy thing. But I am putting a few gaps in the drums to kind of prep for that transition. Okay, I just feel like maybe if I elongate the chimes right before that hit. So this part here sounds like this. Yeah, I feel like these chimes should come in a little earlier. Maybe right when that kick comes back in. So right there. Okay, so okay, yeah, my computer lagged right when it hit it. Okay. Okay, with the snap. Maybe I'll mute the hi-hats for that little bit there. And that part there too. Yeah, because before these chimes were like over here and it just sounded kind of weird. Now, okay, yeah, I think I like that. Cool, so all together. Kind of feels like you're emerging on the other side with this creature thing. And then here, when it hits that chord again the second time, it's less about the chimes, it's more about this little noise along with this creature thing. So the second time around, yeah, and then that's also when these ghostly horror string sounding things come in. So yeah, I think it's a nice flow. I like that. Alright, I'm going to go back to where I was, and I'm going to keep playing it all the way through. Maybe from like over here. And I forgot my mic was muted again. All I was saying was that my CPU is overloaded, so I'm taking the Bell's MIDI track that followed the piano notes, the reverby one, freezing and flattening. Hopefully that will save on CPU. Okay, frozen, flatten, flatten. There we go. Now we have audio. Okay. All right, back to where I was. Cool, so the freezing and flattening did help on the CPU. It wasn't peaking at like 100% anymore, so you were able to hear that part. And of course, if I always want to modify some of those MIDI notes again, I can always go back and unfreeze and all that stuff. Right? Actually, how do I unfreeze? Because it says freeze track now. And this MIDI is no longer a MIDI track. Interesting. Oh yeah, well, I can do that. Oh, well, that's not good. Do I unflatten before unfreezing? That would make sense. If I froze first, then flatten second, I would unflatten, and then I would unfreeze, just like that. Okay. All is good. Yes, everything looks to be in order here. The last thing I want to show on this track, I guess, was the ending. Where I was kind of intentionally giving it this kind of weird, distorted, stretched out vibe. And no, Logan, that was not some new stutter effect, although certainly you can make things sound like that intentionally if you want. But no, that was just my CPU completely dying from trying to video stream and audio stream and process all the plugins at the same time. But this ending here, that sound effect is intentional. It sounds weird and stretched out and kind of detuned. And the way I did that was... Okay, let's see exactly what that is. The kick is stretched out. It's like super warped. So that's why it sounds distorted. I had this little white noise riser thing. It's just a little impact. That's not where the weird stuff is coming from. It's this thing. I think the sample itself has been stretched out to be longer than it used to be. I could play with different warp methods, actually. Beats. Ooh, that sounds cool. Or... that sounds cool. That sounds cool. Oh, that's interesting. That's very different. That's completely different. There's so many... I'm playing with these warp settings, we can't see. Okay, so this was how I had it. That's like almost a little gimmicky. Oh, fades out faster. Okay. That I kind of like. That's the thing you hear like at the end of DJ sets. Almost. I kind of like how it adds in like this, almost these plucks. I wonder where that's coming from. Okay, that's perfect. Grain size 69.29 with a flux of 85.94. I think that's what I want. It sounds very organic, like someone's like, I don't know, dragging their fingernails across the string thing. Cool. Alright, that was a happy little accident. I wasn't expecting to change that, but now it's got even more texture. Oh, and the other thing I was doing here is I turned on the frequency shifter. Oops. Hold on. What did I just do? Undo. Yeah, okay, that's right. Turned on the frequency shifter right here. And you can see as it turns on, I ever so slightly took the rate and the hertz and moved it just a tiny bit from 0 to 2.95. And it kind of gives it that slight detuning or uptuning feel. Like if I did it, I'll just do this to show. If I did it way more, it would sound completely ridiculous. It would sound like this. But I didn't want that, so I just did a tiny, tiny, tiny bit. It's subtle. It's very subtle. Like, this is something where a little bit goes a huge way. But I feel like that was too much, so that's why I kept it very small. Cool. Okay, so I'll play the ending one. Let me save it first. Play the ending one last time with all those changes, and then I'm going to move on to another track after this, but... Okay. Great. I'm going to open up another track. You can see the sun has set, or is setting behind me. 4:55 p.m. in New York on this cold January day. You can do it, Ableton. Spinning beach ball of death, go. Alright, this is a track I started a week ago. I'm just going to play it straight through first, then I'll work on it. Let's see how my volume settings here. Alright. Okay, that's what I've got so far. And again, only a week in, so there's a bunch of tweaks I'm gonna make, but oh yeah, the title of this is Neon Rain. So well, I'll leave it to you to imagine what kind of vibe I'm going for. But the first thing I want to do here is I want to make my drums and percussion sound a little crisper and less like right now they sound kind of soft, and it's not just from volume, it's also like the kick itself is kind of not weak, it's just a little softer than I'd like it to be. Here's my kick. And just want it to feel a little more sharp. So I'm just going to try replacing this sample with something else. Alright, we're just gonna sit here and listen to kicks for the next hour. Whoa, that one was weird. That's a kick. Sounds like a timpani. No, okay, let's see. Whoa. Yeah, you could literally do this for hours. Okay, no, but I think I want one of these dry ones. Nope. So comparing it to what I have right now. Oh, that's interesting. The kick that I have right now has like a, it sounds like a cymbal built in or something. Nope. 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 Maybe that one. This one sounds almost like, it's not muddy or muffled, it's just like a little fluffier. This one sounds more electronic for sure, but I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna replace it. Ooh, sounds beefier. So now, it used to sound like, now it sounds like, yeah, it definitely like comes through clearer. Before it felt like it was kind of fluffier. Let's see if I turn it up a little. Okay, yeah, that feels strong. Let's see, do I want to fade it a bit? So it's not too, no. Just so it sounds nice and clean. Oh wait, now I should do that thing where I tune it. These notes are all D. So, what was D again? Like 75 hertz? Ah. Turn on the old Spectrum, play that kick, and 49.3 G. Okay, so G to D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hopefully it doesn't make it all mangled. Okay. Ooh, that sounds good now. Okay, and 37 hertz D, or I could go up an octave. Yeah. And that is 75D, okay. But that, oh, I did not want that. I want it down an octave. Okay, that sounds heavier now, but it almost sounds like too boomy or something. I'm gonna play with this fade a little more. Maybe make it a little shorter. Okay, I think I like that. I mean, I like the kick better at least. So in context. I think I want my drums in general to just be louder, but I can go through element by element and see what I can do. So yeah, let's look at this little MIDI clip here. What do I have going on in these drums? I've got cymbals, hi-hats, some crashes, clap. Okay, so if I like use these, I feel like those are leveled pretty right. Definitely. Okay, let's see. Let's look at every sample. Hi-hat. Make that a little louder. Other hi-hat. Maybe that's too long. Maybe I want to shorten it. Fade it out a little bit. Oh, makes it sound too... How does it sound now? Yeah, let me make the hat a little longer, but I think it's, yeah, it's helping it. Earlier it sounded a little loosey-goosey. This is tighter, more staccato. Just a little shorter. Nope. Okay, that one's, this is that little boop 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 boop, which if I just solo that part, it's subtle, but it, where is it? Where is it? Right. These, turn it off. It has a little crescendo. Yeah. Maybe I should shorten all of those notes. But I should shorten it in the clip, not in the MIDI. I mean, it's already very short. Doesn't make any sense to make it shorter. Okay, layered hat. Okay, so that happens right on that little upbeat. Maybe I make that a little shorter too, just to make the whole thing feel a little tighter. Oh wait, it's the second one. It's this one. And it feels a little long. Okay, let's try that. And this is the crash, which is quite, rings out for a long time. We may have it ring out a little less, just to keep it a little more crisp sounding and less sloppy. Otherwise that crash is like occupying all the time. Still ring. Okay, so shorten it. There we go. Maybe try it more. Oh yeah, there's the other crash too. There's multiple crashes. So let me do the same thing to that one. Maybe a little more. There's one here. Okay, cool. So the cymbal is not like occupying so much time and space. All right, that's fine. Nice clap. Similarly, just how's that? Well, if I go here, it's kind of too short. Nope. Oop. Let's try that. Okay. I think it feels crisper, tighter. It's definitely more sparse, which I think is good because it feels really less sloppy. Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, next thing I'm going to play with is this layer here. Wait, no, this one. I should definitely put a bass mono on that because I'm doing a lot of panning with this one. Wait, where am I? Here, yes. I did a lot of panning on this one just because you can hear the bass notes go from left to right here. Which is cool and all, but I want to make sure there's not too many low frequencies going left and right, so that's why the bass mono here is 200. That's okay. Okay, so one thing I want to do is so I am doing this auto filter here as it gets up to this first drop at 1 minute. You can see here, this is moving. But I actually think I want to make it even more of a dramatic change by having that bass line for the first minute not sound as full. So if I look at this, it's cutting off everything below 30 hertz as soon as I get here. It does this to kind of give... Oh, also I drove up the drive on this overdrive. That's what's giving it that effect right here. Oops. Okay, so, but everything below here, everything before here, I think I want to make it sound a little weaker. So why don't we try like gear 50 hertz. How does that sound? if I go to like 80, I think it'll be 86. So it still sounds cool, but it's weaker than this. So I think I'll make it sound more dramatic when you're transitioning from this first section to the 1 minute mark. So let's hear it. I'll start here from here. Yes, I like that. And in fact, I wonder if I do a similar kind of filter trick with the kick itself or the drums. It'll be even more dramatic. I am already kind of taking out a lot of the drums in that lead up, but what if, like right here, it's already being filtered out, but wait, what? Oh yeah, okay, I was doing the filter here too. Yeah, I wonder if instead of 20 hertz over here, let's do like, didn't I say what was D earlier was like 37 hertz, so maybe keep that, but I forgot what number it was, 32.2. Yeah, that's okay. I mean, it still sounds pretty beefy. But just to make the contrast between this section and that section a little more dramatic. 32.2. Okay, so now, well, this is really for the whole drums group. It's not just a kick. But it's filtering out everything below 32 here. And for this little build-up, it's moving it up, high passing, then back to 32. And during this build-up, it completely pretty much takes out all of the kick. Then a gap, then it comes back in at 20. There we go. So hopefully all together, we'll start at the beginning again. Actually, no, before I do that, do I want to do a similar filter thing with this droney thing here? I think I do. Actually, there's several things I want to do. First thing I want to do is sidechain to the kick. Drums maybe. So if we kick prior through post effects. So wait a minute. Okay. There's the kick. Sidechain it. Fast release. Fast attack. How much is that? 60 more. Cool. So it's ducking out of the way of the kick. Okay, and then for this whole layer itself, let's call it risers, but it's really more of a drone. I'm just gonna rename it. I'm gonna rename it to drone bass. Which, by the way, is coming from FM8. Baby Got Beef is the name of the preset. And and I'm doing some volume automation on it, which is why you're hearing it fade in and out, but that's a part where it's kind of loud right here. I mean, oh yeah, I'm doing some automation of the panning as well, that's why it sounds like this. Moving from right to left. Okay. But similarly, this is 20, so instead of 20, let's do, I don't know, 40? 38, 26, sure. So that when I'm here, I don't want it to sound weak, I just want it to sound slightly weaker than how it sounds here. So here, yeah, this is got more of the low end. Oh, and I'm doing a similar kind of filter up and then back down. So that right there, you get this kind of sweeping crescendo from right here. Ow. Okay, so now let's listen to it again from the beginning, and hopefully it just sounds a little more, I mean, it's not dramatic. I mean, it's kind of dramatic, but it's more just contrast. Okay, yeah, I'm pretty happy with how that little build up right there is sounding. I think I like how the drums just sound a little more precise, I guess, crisp. Yeah, the drums sound a little more tight and precise. Earlier was a little fluffy. Other things that I think I want to do to kind of increase the contrast is, let me think. I think when I hit this little drop here, so I drop out some of the drums, filtering out the kick, drop out some of these elements here, you can see they're missing, and then the drums come back in all at once with that cymbal crash and the hats and the metal and everything. And I'm wondering if I can actually bring in those different percussion things over time more gradually instead of bringing them all back in at once. But I might try that later. I'm also not super happy with this guitar synthy thing here, which is FM8. Some kind of slap. It's like a guitar-y sound, but I modified some of these parameters so it sounds like kind of distorted. I think it's a little too busy, maybe. Like I should spread out the notes more. One thing that I should also test out is how all of this sounds when it's mono, because the stereo width sounds great and everything, but I want to make sure that it's mono compatible as well, so that it doesn't sound like complete crap. It's being played on like a Bluetooth speaker or something. So I'm just gonna put mono on my master thing here and listen to it. So this is a stereo. I see a lot of these kind of sizzles and voices, and I guess I should go through each track and show what's going on here, but there's a lot going on the sides. Okay, mono. That's interesting, the guitar is kind of lost, huh? sounds good. Some people like to do their whole mix in mono and then turn on stereo at the very end and just be very impressed at the end, but it's harder. Appreciate the chats there, keeping it interesting. Right. Yeah, I can make that sound all sorts of weird. That's more like twangy. This is... That's an interesting kind of metallic texture. This has like a... I mean, they're calling it wood, but it's more of a mallet kind of reverb. That's cool. I'll try that one. It's just got like a bunch of white noise with it or something. It does definitely have more of that slap feeling. I'm gonna put it right in the middle so I get both of them. Looks like my spectrum's already pretty full, so that's nice. Okay, before I forget, which of my things should be sidechained to the kick? Probably everything. I already did that with... Did I do that already? Oh yeah, I did do that. Well, I did that for one of the tracks. I did that to this droney thing. And maybe I'll just be a little lazy here and copy paste. So my bass thing. Well, I think they're mainly playing on the offbeats anyway on purpose, but this way this is ducking out of the way when the kick is playing. Especially important for anything that's has low frequencies. Okay, what about these plucks? I think that's okay. Okay, and then this thing. I guess I'll put it on this one as well. Just making sure that kick shines through every time. And then this bass synth thing, which is massive. It's called 1991. Well, the preset is, but I changed it. I remember I changed some of these octaves here, changed the color of the noise to make it a little more metal sounding. I like how it came out. It sounds like this. It's hard to describe. It's almost like a flute and like a... Reminds me of like Blue Man Group when they're hitting those PVC pipes, but it sounds like a metal pipe. I mean, this sounds like someone burping or something. Oh, I put an R bass on here to try to bring it out a little more. Bass. What's Metro? What was I doing here? Oh, this glue compressor isn't even doing anything. Change the threshold. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I was having some fun with the notes here. Where's that? Yeah, this thing. What is that? Yeah, those are all. Okay, so yes, sidechain to kick. Boom. I don't want to sidechain too strongly though. So without. Oh shit! I usually like to rename it so I remember what it is. Sidechain to kick. So that's that. Sidechain to kick. Oh, Metroid. I know what Metroid is. I know stuff. Sidechain to kick. Didn't do it on the plugs. Rename this. Sidechain to kick. That's what I am, right? Nope, I got lost. Here we go. Okay. And here. This one. Synths. What's this synth layer? Oh, it's these cool like orchestra hit things. It's kind of disco-y sounding. I like it. I'm using a silent synth, silent string synth. Oh, but I made it sound fuzzy by adding this baturator, which you've seen me use a lot. Yeah, you can see it's like real cranked up. Because without it, it sounds more just like an orchestra. But now it sounds like a buzzy, gritty orchestra. These are mainly high frequencies, so I think I'll leave that one alone. Got a quiet voice thing. I'll clean up some of these lower frequencies. And this other choir thing. Oh, okay. I should definitely sidechain that one to the kick, because there's a bunch of low frequencies happening over here. So, boom. I should just copy paste the one title. Make the release even faster. So it's got that cool pumping effect now. A little bit. Okay, and then this white noise riser, which is already sidechained to the kick. Cool. Maybe even a little more. Bass riser with a Z. That is that sound, which I didn't actually put any crazy effects on it. I'm surprised. Looks like I took that sample pretty unmodified. It's even in the right key. It's a D. It's a D, yeah. Cool. Dial it back a little bit. I like that sound. And then this higher riser, which happens right before that drop, is kind of. Oh, okay, we have the sidechain here. Maybe I don't need as much of the lows here. Yes, white noise. Love that white noise. Not all white noise is made equally. It's could be a lot of different textures from it. Okay, so let's see. What was I doing? I think I looked at every layer at this point. Multiple vocal layers. I don't think I worked, or I transposed these for sure to make them match the key of D minor. This was that crazy orchestra, not crazy, but orchestral synth. This is okay. So yeah, I think I'm still gonna like make some changes or spread out some of these notes maybe for this guitar sounding thing, but I kind of like the sound it has right now. Maybe let's check the volumes as I play it. These plucks are cool. This is coming from Vital, which is another synth, which I haven't used really much, but this just sounded really cool and has a bunch of reverb on it, and I made it wider, and the notes themselves are literally just, I mean, I kind of intentionally made them off the grid, but it's just giving it that kind of almost like a tiny bouncing ball kind of feel, metallic-y, chimey stuff. And yeah, I was going for the highs to kind of contrast the low drony bass thing we've got going here, which is still doing its panning thing. This bass, this rhythm here, the non-drone bass, the bass plugs, whatever you want to call it, is just repeating the same thing over and over and over again. Didn't want to change too much all the time and confuse the listener. Alright, let me listen to it again. I'm gonna check the levels too. I intentionally made those vocals quieter and kind of subtle. So I feel like that little transition there is nice, it's sweet, but then it kind of doesn't really land on anything. I mean, the bells come in, but I kind of feel like there should be something that just goes. I think it's a little too early for these orchestra hit things to come in, but or maybe if I just put like a tiny little bass note thing here. What's this sound like again? One of these, but make it loud. Oop. Like that. I don't know. Let's see. Just to like have something to land on a little. Boom. Try to subtle, but maybe it will just provide a little more foundation. Yeah, I feel like it adds just like a little bit underneath. Where previously it's just like. But now. And that way when this thing comes in later, it's not as surprising, I guess. I don't know, it's subtle. Don't hear a thing, didn't hear it. It's this noise. And it's quiet, but when it hits on one, gives it a bit more of a foundation. It's like, what's gonna happen? 3, 2. I'm keeping it. Maybe I just repeat it. Yeah. Maybe I change the octave or something. Blah. Nope. Okay, no, that's different. Make it a little quieter. I'm intentionally making it subtle, but this is a different octave now. Boom, boom, boom. feel good about that. Boom, boom, boom. And then when this thing comes in, it doesn't feel like it's completely out of nowhere. Okay, so from here. Maybe I should actually have it play when the plucks aren't playing. Just feels like this part right here is a little empty. Yeah, like right there. Well, make this one the high one, make this one the low one. So this part doesn't feel empty because it's got the voices coming in. And then it comes again to this hit. And then right here, I have something to fill in the gap. There we go. White noise. And then that again. Then the voices come in. Then this build up. Then everything comes in. Cool. Yeah, some small tweaks, but I think it makes the empty space feel a little less empty. I think those changes I made to the drums make them sound a little sharper, more precise now. I think the filter changes I made the post 1 minute part of the track sound fuller and more interesting and energetic compared to the pre 1 minute part of the track. Well, I've been streaming for 2 hours. And it is dark outside. Yes, I'm not going to do too much more at this moment because I think I do want to sit down and take a longer look at these guitar notes, maybe rewrite that melody, maybe change these drums up to... Actually, no, I'll do this part right now. I'm going to change these drums up so that they add in more stuff over time instead of just coming in with all these crashes right away. So the drums, as we said, we have this build up to the 1 minute drop, but it comes in with like all these crashes and everything else going on. I think I maybe want to let that build up a bit more. So maybe if because this hit, it already has the orchestra thing. Maybe turn these crashes off. And maybe turn those hi-hat thingies off. Keep the clap. Maybe turn these little wait, can I just mute the whole? Yeah. Turn the little clicky noises off. So now I just have kick, clap, this, and that. So okay, but then when I get to this section, bring in one crash, this crash, and just bring in that crash. And then when I get to this section, maybe let me think. Maybe I keep, you know what, maybe I don't have that crash on this one. Oh shit. Maybe I have the crash coming here, but not here. Still, okay, and then maybe on this third one I bring in those rim click noises, but I still keep these hats off. And then on the fourth one, I keep the small crash. No. I'll turn on these little hi-hat clicks. So it's kind of monotonically increasing. Then I bring in the louder crash, and also have the smaller one as second one. I don't want too many crash, and then keep everything on this one. Okay, let's see how that sounds. Let me hear the drums by itself. Add a moan after every hi-hat. All right, samples, moan. Let's see what kind of moans I have here. It looks like I don't have that many moans. Is that a moan? That sounds like someone's singing. That doesn't really sound like a moan either. Someone should send me more moan samples, but let's just see. Bring this in here. Mr. Ben moaning, singing. Oops. Is that in the key? Is that D? Does that I'm just gonna see how this sounds. Zoom in. Hey, this is the whole point of chat, right? I interact with my fans. Okay, so take that, copy. Let's see. Copy, paste, loop that. I can actually figure out what note that is. Spectrum. F. Maybe 2 that will work. It's too short to know. Okay, let me open up piano. Virtual piano keyboard. Is that F? Yeah, it's F. So they get to D. 3. Okay, let's make it a higher pitched moan. That doesn't really sound like a moan. Let's keep it low. Okay, so if I take this, let's see. Does this work if I just drag that in there? Yeah, look at that. Okay, now let me turn off this one because I'll just delete that track. Then back to my drum rack. This is just for fun. Oh yeah, look at that. And then you want me to add a moan after every hi-hat. Okay, so the hi-hat's here. Okay, well I have multiple hi-hats, but let's say this one. So moan, 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 moan. There we go. And then here, and is that a hi-hat? Here, and here. Hey, it actually doesn't sound bad. So if I like paste this one into the next one too. And, oh, it's a little off. Wait, there we go, align it. Okay, how's it sound with the track? Well, let's see how it sounds with the track. I feel like I want it to. Oh yeah, I want it to be like it's like it feels. I mean, it kind of works, but I feel like I want some of those to be a different pitch or something. Actually, I thought I did tune it. Oh yeah, that's why, because I tuned it on the other sample down there, but when I dragged it in, I forgot to tune it down to 3 semitones again. So here we go. What if I fade it a little bit? And Okay, I'm gonna actually try leaving that in there. I think I can still tweak it a little bit. I think it sounds... Something about it sounds like it's almost like it's standing out too much. Let me take a look at the EQ here. I think I can make it work. Yeah, it's like a very... So let's kind of slim it down a bit. It's a very full moan. I don't think I want it to be that bassy. Oop. It sounds a little out of tune. Oh yeah, because I think he's actually going instead of so I think that's better. And maybe I should just record myself moaning. It's interesting. It sounds like there's like a machine thing playing with it, but I don't know. That would just be the warping. We should do some artifacts. Also feels like it's is it to one side? Let me see. Ozone imager, and look at that. It is a little to the left. I'm not crazy. Is there a pan thing built into the? Like, yeah, I can just. Yeah, working out loud and thinking out loud actually, it's like multitasking. Okay, now it's a little to the right. Okay, now it's a little more in the middle, I think. What am I looking at here? Okay, I'm just gonna leave that. Okay. So, back to where we were. Oh yeah, these are off the grid here. Fix that. There we go. So I want, and maybe the rhythm can be adjusted. Is my background fake? My background? Oh, this background. Yes, I'm sitting in front of a green screen. I'm actually in Hawaii right now, and it simulates the sunset too. So I don't think I actually want it right after that one. I think I might want it after that one. So, also, I don't know who Ben is, who provided this sample of Ben Moan, but, you know, he's gonna be famous now. Maybe I want it with that second hat, or maybe I want it on beat 4. Let's try it. Either this, or this, or this. Maybe I'll try it there for that one, and then this one actually goes with it. And this one goes here, and then this one goes here. So it's up, offbeat, onbeat, offbeat, upbeat, onbeat. Oops. Okay. And I should make this shorter. Well, I'm not sure if that matters actually. But just so it looks clean. Okay, and then these, paste, whoops, that didn't work. Here, there, right? But, okay. And then, same thing into these two as well. There, and the fourth one. Okay, so did I accomplish my goal of having the drums increase in complexity and sounds over time? So the crash comes in, both crashes come in, the hi-hats, which hi-hats? Oh, the closed hi-hat, closed HH Alonso, that one. And then, am I missing anything for this one? So this compared to this, you can see I've turned on some of these layers. This compared to this, yeah, it's hard to click. This compared to this, this compared to this, this compared to this, this compared to this. Oh, it's just highlighted, that's all. This compared to that. We're just missing that's crash, but that's okay because I'm doing no crash, no crash, crash, no crash, two crashes, crash. Let's listen to it. Okay, so I like it. I like how it's increasing more sounds over time. I think the moan actually comes in a little too early. I think I'm gonna save it for the last 2 bars instead of bringing it in for 4 bars, because by the time I hit this bar, the little comes in, and then by the time I hit this bar or section, this set of bars, these come in. So I kind of want like one new thing coming in at a time. So I'll let these come in, then I'll let the come in, and then I'll let the moans come in at this one. So like, yep, and then okay, cool, great. All right, I think I'm gonna wrap it up, but I will play it through one more time from the beginning for your listening pleasure. And in fact, let me just put a very quick ozone maximizer on the master chain so that's like a little louder. Let's see, where is it? So loud, how loud is it? 0.3. Let's just do it very quick. Sorry, it's gonna get a little louder, so you might wanna turn down the volume. Alright, let's just leave it at that. And it's clipping again for some reason, but I think it'll be okay. Okay. Good progress. I am going to play it now from the beginning. This is only the first minute and 45 seconds of this track, but here we go. I like those little vocal modes. I mean, yeah, I think that was a good addition. I'll keep figuring out how to work that in. All right, I've been streaming for 2 hours and 15 minutes. Time flies when you're having fun. It's 6 o'clock here, so I'm gonna go get some food. Thank you for joining. I think this is a record for me, personal record in terms of number of people watching. Looks like I have 6 people on here, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, good times, and you know, you got to hear this track way before it gets released, right? So, have a good night. I'm going to close everything down now, and I will see you all next time.